Hey everybody, good morning, Robb. Guys, we're doing a review video today. I've been doing a lot of reviews in the last 16 years, got over 1,300 videos. Today we're going to be reviewing getting old. This is my first time getting old. I've never been old before. So I thought I'd review it for you who are watching that may think you one day want to become old, or if you already are old, you may want to see if you concur with my review. So I was thinking about this morning about the things that nobody ever told me. Kind of a little surprising. What's important as I got older, what's not important, and what I had no idea was going to happen, and so on. So let's get started. These are not in order of importance; they're just random, but some of them are very important. The first one's not that important, but it is one of those things I found out when I got older, and is that almost exclusively 100% of all the phone calls you get are going to be scammers, people trying to rip you off or steal or something. I'm not impressed with technology until that day comes when we can just reach through the telephone and dope slap somebody who's trying to steal your money. Until that day comes, I don't care if we go to Mars or not. So yeah, most of your phone calls, I've probably blocked 100 phone calls in the last 6 weeks. It's just incredible. Um, the other, number two, is the phone calls you want to get, you never get. The people that you really care about, you want to hear from, actually, you want them to visit, not call, but they can't even call because number one, they're really busy. Number two, time has gone on. People don't use phones that much anymore. They text. For a while, I was emailing people. People don't even email anymore. They just text. Eventually, I guess we'll just be telepathy. I almost thought of you. So yeah, you don't get the phone calls you expect. Number three, as you get older, you realize nobody wants your stuff. Well, they want some things probably, but for the most part, so you need to get rid of it. I'm keeping a lot of stuff because I figure will have a zombie apocalypse, and that might need a letter opener, or a staple, a remover, But basically, yeah, you should get rid of your stuff that nobody really wants, not even the Goodwill half the time. Um, Number four, this is an important one. At some point in your life, it's really good to have when you're old is a set of values that you know that you can, if you're doing something and you realize it's not coinciding with your values, you're just wasting your time. What's important in your life? I'm embarrassed to tell you how short a period of time ago that I actually sat down and wrote what are my core values in life. And I just have four of them. I mean, I have more than four, but the four that I stick with are my health, physical and mental, my wealth, my family, and freedom or fun. And why do I have health and wealth over my family? Well, because if I'm not healthy or I don't have any money at all, I'm a burden to my family. So I try to make sure I focus on my health and not wasting my money. But at the same time, really, family's number one. But the first two are number one because what I just told you. And the fourth one, freedom or fun, that's I think important. But that's everybody has their own values. But what I'm getting at is if you have something that you can say, this is what I'm about. It's like a shield. If there's a lot of bull crap coming your way, you know what's important and what's not important, what you can let slide and what you can really focus on. And it's really important to have that. Someone asks you in the middle of the night, what are your values? You can tell them right like that. And you can, and little by little, day by day, you start focusing. And it's helpful, I think, as a shield to help support you as you get older, to not waste your time on petty BS. Number five, by the way, there's going to be a dozen. Go over them quickly. Number five, you want to use tech before it uses you. Um, I think a lot of people, as they get older, they become dinosaurs. I've been lucky because like the last 16 years, I've been making one video a week. So I've been a little bit keeping my hand in technology. But it's, Churchill once said he drinks, but he said he gets more out of alcohol than alcohol gets out of him. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but But for technology, you want to get more out of technology than technology gets out of you. If you spend all your day on the computer or the phone or whatever, and most of the time you weren't being productive, then it's sucking your life away. But you can use technology as you get older to really enhance your life in many ways, just by researching things, finding out things that can help you or help other people. So you want to use tech, and but don't let it abuse you or take over your life. Number number 6, for some really weird reason, everybody you know, when you meet them, they start looking older. Number 7, you want to drive often or you're going to lose that skill. Also, as you get older, eventually you reach an age where people want to take away your driving. Like I think a certain age, they won't rent cars to you. So you want to keep up your skills. I, for the last few years, have not been driving very much. So now when I go on the expressway, I don't feel comfortable like I used to, and it's not good. So if you don't use something, you lose it. So whatever you have that you value, you might need in the future, you want to make sure you maintain it. Your mental health, number 8, is going to be the very top of the list of all the things that are important in your life, because if you don't have mental health, nothing else will save you. Not friends, family, fortune, nothing. So I was reading a book on aging just 3 years ago, and a very thick book, Successful Aging. I forgot it. I'll give the title in the video description. And they talk about all the things that people can do to have a successful life as they age. And one little sentence in a paragraph said, out of all the things they studied, mental health was the most important. Then they went on to other stuff. I think that was the most important part of the book, and it was like a buried in the book. And I thought about it. That's true. If you don't have good mental health, nothing else matters. And I'm not an expert in this area. I've been focusing a lot on physical health for years, but I never really thought about it. And I realize now that's something that people need to focus on more. I don't know how, or I'm not going to be telling you how you can achieve that, but I think that's something you want to start thinking about. Make 2 lists. Make a tomorrow list, stuff you're going to do tomorrow, because sometimes when you're retired, you wake up, what are you going to do? Well, if you have that list, that's helpful. The second thing is every day make a list, one thing you can improve in your life. It could be small, often it is small, but those little tiny incremental changes day after day, they will help you in different areas. And I find that if I want to do something, it's helpful to link it to something else. Like, let's say you brush your teeth every day. If there's something you want to change in your life, if you can link it to some other habit that you already have, then you can more likely change or start doing that thing that you want to start doing in your life. So as an example, every morning I bounce on my trampoline. So I've started adding little habits to that habit now so I can do other things in my life. Also, instead of having a to-do list, have a never-do list. Stop doing this. Don't ever do this again. No, that's one of the best lists you can make. Number 10, as you get older, your friends and family will dwindle. People will move away. People will die. And it's sad. But you need to learn to like yourself more than you probably already do. And you need to learn, and I do too, is to make new friends. And that's really hard, but it has to be a priority. Kurt Vonnegut said something years ago in an interview, and I never forgot. He said, in the future, everybody's going to need a gang. Not a criminal gang, but like, belong to a organization or a church, or have an extended family group. You need a support group. You can't be an individual cowboy western out there all by yourself. You need somebody watching your back, helping you out, and you need to help them out too. Community. More and more I find in studying health, it turns out to be the support system people have is just as important as the food they're eating and the supplements and the exercises they do. if they don't have a culture and a support group, that it's barren, and they don't have the same length of life as other people do. They're not as optimistic either. Number 11, once I turned 60, things started happening physically, health wise. And I started thinking of them as medical adventures. And that's helped a little bit. It's not a panacea, it doesn't solve hardly anything, but it just helps to bear some things when you think of them as an adventure. But yeah, once I turned 60, things just started happening. I think the person's body, there's like a machine, there's weak points, and as you have pressure, it blows out at the weak point. And as you get older, there's things that blow out at the weak point, and everybody has their weak points. And you start finding them as you get older. But you want to not give up. You want to keep finding ways to make your weak points strong again. That leads me to number 12. One of the most important things you can do as you get older is become a person that finds the road to yes. So often in life, everyone says, no, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. Or we don't do that. That's not. You want to find out if there's one person that says, yeah, well, that can be done, or somebody, if one person could do something, maybe you can too. So always try to go and find the road to yes. And don't just say, well, there's the road to no and there's no other road. What I'm getting at is, if you have a medical issue, don't stop looking for answers. Find a support group or people, a forum that have the same issue that you do, and then see what they did. And because oftentimes doctors and medical professionals, unless they have the illness themselves, they lack the commitment. They're involved, but they're not committed like you are. The last two is, as you get older, you start thinking about the people that came before you, and finding out who they were and what they did. And it helps knowing that other people had trials and tribulations and they were able to survive, and realize you come from a long line. Everyone watching this video, it comes from a long line of survivors. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. So it's good to spend some time researching about where you came from to understand who you are. And the last thing is, share your stories. After we're gone, that's the only thing left is, oh yeah, remember Uncle Bob, remember the stories of your life and things that you did or didn't do, and the things you helped or whatever. That's all that lasts. That's all we got going for us, is the stories that other people are going to tell about us. So you want to start telling your stories now, and maybe revealing stories of other people that have passed that people don't remember. Right now I'm the oldest person in my immediate family, which is a weird feeling. So it's incumbent upon me to try to tell people in my family stories about people they have no idea even existed. And it's not a burden. It's a pleasure, and it's an honor. So my review of getting old, for the first time, it's very interesting. And I'm going to leave you with the hope that you guys have some wonderful stories to tell your family and loved ones. All right, guys, take care. See you out there.